Hello and welcome guys to another video, and as the title says, the new seasons are here. So here are some of the highlights from round 1 of the top split of the GT3 League at PLR. And I'm afraid you may have to excuse my voice in this video. So jumping straight into qualifying, I was really happy because I was P4 at the end of qualifying, less than 2/10 off a pole, and this is the top split as well. But unfortunately, just as everyone goes to finish their final laps, the server dies, which was really frustrating because we then had to have another qualifying session, but it was only 9 minutes because we had already done one before the server crashed, and unfortunately this meant I didn't get time to do another good lap, so I ended up only qualifying P14, which was 10 places from where I really should have been, which was a bit frustrating, but I try and make it up in the race. So let's see how we get on. Just waiting on green lights. Green lights and away we go, starting P14 down to P15 just slightly as the Ferrari just gets ahead of us. Into turn 1 we go though. See who survives. Really early on the brakes because I don't want to get taken out. The yellow Mercedes there spinning off. We get the Ferrari there, and then we're going to try and get around the outside of the Mercedes here. Just on the outside line coming into turn 3 and 4. Around the outside we go, able to move up into P11 already, and now we're behind the Mercedes of Tango. And then here, this was a bit annoying at the end of lap 1. If we look at the replay, we'll see what happened. So as I go to commit to the braking zone, you'll notice that this Mercedes goes to the left. So I think, okay, I'll go to the right and go on the outside, but then the Mercedes moves to the right again, closes the door, but I've already committed to that outside line, so I have to go onto the grass to avoid the Mercedes. But anyway, on the next lap, Tango unfortunately missed his braking zone, so dive bombed us. He didn't take the position though, so we maintained position, but then coming into turn 3, I just slightly clip the curb as we come around this left-hander, which sends me over the right-hander onto the gravel, and unfortunately that does let both the Mercedes of Tango and the Ferrari pass me, so I drop down to P13, so not a great start of the race. But anyway, on lap 5, trying to get past the Mercedes here, we're on the outside coming into one of the final 2 corners here, hard on the brakes, get the inside line, and we're able to hold on to that position there and get past the Mercedes. And then on lap 6 here, we are trying to defend from the Mercedes, and then up in front, the Ferrari bins it on the exit of turn 2, and that gives us a free position. And then a few laps later on lap 11, the Mercedes spins it as well on the exit of the hairpin. He did well not to completely spin, but that did give us a free position. And now with 34 minutes left, I'm just on the back of this McLaren, which I know is going to hold me up because the Bentley is just able to take so much more curb than the other cars, especially through that final chicane. So I think I'm just going to go into the pits because it's nearly halfway through the race and see if I can undercut the McLaren and come out ahead. Now, we'll see how the pit stops go. So as you can see, when I go into the pit lane, I'm only about 3/10 behind this McLaren. And then we'll skip to after the pit stops. And skip to, this is where the McLaren comes out of the pit lane a few laps later. And as you can see, he's about 3.5 seconds ahead of us. So he's gained about 3.2 seconds. But I think this was the next couple of laps. We then are back on the McLaren's tail. The McLaren goes a bit slow and we have to go wide to avoid the back of the McLaren, and that lets UK Sim Racer down on the inside of us, and unfortunately cost us position. I just had nowhere to go. But then on a few laps later, on lap 27, there's a collision between the McLaren and Bentley. I'm not sure what happened, but it did give us a free position. And then with about 7.5 minutes left, we are on the back of the McLaren, and the McLaren clips the curb, goes off, and that gives us a free position. But one thing you'll notice in the bottom is that we have 3 track limits. If we get another one, we get a drive through and our race is over. So with 7 minutes left, I know I'm not going to be able to catch the driver in front of me, so I've got to be careful I don't use too much curb. But that means I obviously can't push as hard. So the drivers behind me, you'll see this Mercedes, kept catching me mid-corner. See there, a bit of contact because I just couldn't use as much track as I normally would in case I got another track limit warning. So I had a lot of pressure for like the final 5 minutes, I think it was, because I had the Mercedes right on my tail. And then into turn 1 of lap 32, the Bentley just slightly misses his braking zone and bumps us across the chicane, gives us a bit of rear damage, able to hold on to the position. And now on the next lap, we have the Mercedes on our outside into turn 1, trying to defend from the Mercedes, able to hold on to the position there. And then on the final lap, this is the final lap we're skipping to, through the chicane, and as I said, I can't take it with as much speed as I normally would, but then coming into the final 2 corners, the Mercedes gets a bit of a run on us, and as we come into the final 2 corners, you see the Mercedes into the brakes, doesn't quite make the corner, bumps us wide. Thankfully, we're able to rejoin just in front of UK Sim Racer and hold on to P8. So it was a good fun race for the first race of the season. It was very frustrating with the server issue because we really should have been fighting for the top 5, but it was just unlucky that the server died midway through the race. But it is what it is. We were able to recover to P8 from P14. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, press a like and subscribe, and see you again next time.